Did you know that before Dwight Ike Eisenhower became the president, he served a dual role as Supreme Allied Commander in Europe and Commanding General of European Theater of Operations during World War II? During his time in two leadership roles, he was forced to develop an ineffable ability to prioritize and execute on mission-critical tasks. With mastery of this skill, he was able to orchestrate one of the most historic operations of United States history, Operation Overlord, or D-Day. It was during this time that he developed what he called the IKE matrix to help him deal with high-stake issues that he faced as general. Although you might not be orchestrating the Battle of Normandy, you can leverage the IKE matrix as a tool to help face the myriad of problems that life throws at you and more easily conquer them. So what is this IKE matrix that I was referring to? Eisenhower recognized that all tasks can be bucketed into 4 different categories that exist upon 2 axes. These 2 axes are importance and urgency. So let's break down each of these in detail. The first axis is importance, on a spectrum from low to high. To determine how important a task is to you, you must connect it to your B goal or your vision in the future. But as you can clearly see, it must be ever present in our minds. But prioritization doesn't stop there. You also have to relate it to the development of a skill that you care about. Remember, the pursuit of goals should be fun. The thing that you choose to do should provide you with fulfillment while doing these things. Be honest with yourself if a task on your action list seems important to you and rank them along that spectrum if they're not or if they are. The next axis is urgency. This is a crucial aspect to prioritization. To help you define which of your tasks are the most urgent, ask yourself which of them possess a lot of sequential actions. As an example, if you want to start learning like Photoshop, the most urgent task is to purchase the software. Watching videos on how to use the software will do nothing if you don't even have the tool. Try to apply this to your list of actions that you have. Are there tasks that you can see that are a bottleneck to other tasks? Now, one problem with ambitious goal setting is that we have to assign the urgency ourselves. It's not like you have a boss or a manager telling you when your deliverables are due. You are your own boss. You have to be careful with how you self-assign deadlines because of the existence of something called Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law states that work will expand to fill the time for which you allotted it to be completed. I remember in college, my professors would always complain about the fact that 80+% of the submissions for like a test or an assignment would come in the last 8 hours, even if they had like 2+ weeks to do them. One time we even got a week extension on a final essay, and every submission came in on the last day. If you think something will take a month, it likely will take a month. But if you push yourself to complete it in a week, I'm willing to bet that you'd find a way to make progress much more quickly. This concept is called artificial urgency, and it's something that many startup founders live by, honestly. Just look at Elon Musk. He motivates his teams to hit unrealistic timelines, which pushes them to work harder than otherwise expected. As to how ethical this is, I'm not sure, but it is very effective. Now, with the 2 axes in mind, let's break down the 4 buckets that they form. The first most important category is due. These are tasks which you consider to be important and urgent. If it takes less than 5 minutes to do, you should just drop what you're doing and get it out of the way. If it's something that'll take a bit longer, prioritize it highly to accomplish that day. Next, let's stay on the important axis and move down in urgency. This category is called schedule. We highly believe that this is the most important category, and if you don't utilize a good system for following up on non-urgent tasks, your goals will go nowhere. Instilling the habit of scheduling tasks and actually following up on them is what separates dreamers from doers. Most of your focus should be on the high importance activities, but if we're not careful, we can find ourselves caught up on low important activities. One of the biggest struggles that we see are people getting overwhelmed by what appear to be urgent tasks, constantly putting out fires, but really are not important towards success. If you find yourself doing this, you need to consider delegating. Delegating is best for when you don't learn anything from the task and for activities that are not rewarding to yourself. When you first start working on your goals, you'll probably be alone and not have many people to delegate activities to. But remember, this principle is for all activities in life. Think about your schoolwork or grocery shopping. In college, I would act as a project manager for my group work and disperse tasks that I didn't feel responsible with completing or weren't catering towards my strengths. For something like grocery shopping, you can pay for one of those services that deliver them to the door to save you time, if you have the money for it. There are always opportunities to delegate, and the more low impact activities that you can delegate, the more time that you'll have for what's truly important. The last category, eliminate, is where we're struggling the most. In order to do this section properly, you need to self-reflect. Look throughout your life and determine what it is that you're doing and that's not in alignment with the person that you want to become. What activities are you doing that are not urgent or important? For me, this was activities like social media and watching Netflix. These activities may seem fun, but they don't provide any real benefit to our lives. In moderation, they can be okay, but if you're anything like I was a few years ago, you have a few bad habits that are eating up time that could be spent towards working on more important goals. Now, with that theory behind the matrix in mind, let's discuss how to put it into practice. Take some time to self-reflect and look at the projects that you currently have, and bucket each of the actions required for the projects into these 4 categories. Also, use this framework for additional tasks and projects that appear through your personal and professional life. The goal of this whole system is to help you adopt a framework to organize your days and help you execute on the most important actions that will drive real results. The IKE matrix is a crucial aspect of the system, so I challenge you to try it now. Bucket each of those actions into the 4 categories and let me know in the comments, what are your main time wasting activities? Is it Netflix, is it social media, or is it something else? In the beginning, I suggest that you do this exercise almost daily. But over time, the concept could get ingrained into your mind and you'll be able to know where to place your focus. And personally, I do it weekly. I do it every Sunday before heading into the week. Definitely try this exercise out, and if it helps, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.